A very good morning to all my BCA final year students. Let us continue with the subject of COS, that is Computer Oriented Accounting System. And this video or this class will discuss about how to perform a journal entry and what are the points to be followed while performing a journal entry. In the last class or the last video or the Google Meet class, we discussed about the 10 steps needed to do a journal entry. In this class, we will discuss about how to perform according to the 10 steps, how to perform a journal entry, how to identify the transactions, how to identify the accounts of the transactions, and how to do a journal entry. Let us begin with the video. The first. So I have written an individual transaction so that you guys can understand individually what are the transaction and what the transactions are meant for the business purpose. So while recording a journal entry, you have to remember the first thing that you are yourself a business. You did not need to think about yourself or the person, individual person. Suppose XYZ person has started a business. So he needs to think for the business. Is my business getting profit or loss? He did not need to think about his own personal profit or loss, but he needs to think about the business. As you studied in the concept and conventions of accounting, that business and the owner of the business are two separate entities, two separate legal entities. So here we are following the concept and conventions of accounting to do the following transactions or to perform the following journal entries. The first entry is Mohan started a business with cash rupees 50,000. So as we know, whenever there is cash introduced into the business, it is called as capital. So cash is a asset. Cash is a current asset which belongs to real account. The rule for the real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Then again we have the second thing involved, that is capital. Capital is a personal account because it is introduced by a person. Suppose Mohan is a person, right? Mohan is a real person and he introduces the capital in the business. So Mohan introduces the capital, so capital becomes the personal account. So the rule for the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So your journal entry will be cash account debited because cash is introduced and we have the rule, that is debit what comes in, what is coming in into the business, that is cash. So cash account debited rupees 50,000 to capital account. To capital account, the rule for the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So obviously the capital is given to the business and the cash is received by the business. So the given part is to be credited. So we have written to capital account. In the brackets down, that is the we can say the narration. We should write the narration of every transaction. So the narration is being capital introduced into the business. Now you can see I have written dot 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 capital cash account debited dot 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 dr is there. Dr means debited. Dr, the short form of debited or debtor or debit is dr. We have not written cr in the down portion because we have written already two. Two means it is a credit part of the business or it belongs to the credit part of the business. And 50,000, 50,000. We have left a bit of gap from the cash to, means there should be a gap when we write the amount to. So this is the proper way of writing a journal entry. This is not a tabular form. I'm not introducing or writing in a tabular form, but I'm letting you people know that how to perform or how to write a journal entry. If such transaction is given, the first transaction is Mohan started a business with cash 50,000. So you have to think what are the persons involved in the business, what has been done in the business, and how it will reflect in the business, and what are the accounts involved in the business. So here two accounts are involved. First is Mohan, second is cash. And Mohan introduces cash, means it is a form of capital. So capital is introduced by Mohan, that is a personal account, and cash, it is a asset. So it belongs to real account. So real account, we can say the rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. For personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So we have made the journal entry clearly. The next one is cash sales rupees 20,000. So obviously when sales is made, suppose when sales are made either by the sale of goods, furniture, plant and machinery, stock, there is either cash received or check received. So cash sales means obviously when you sell a thing, you receive, instead you can receive cash for it or check for it. So cash is a current account, it belongs to real account, and the rule for the real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Okay. So the next one is when sales are made, it is an income to the business and it belongs to the nominal account. Obviously, when you sell a thing, you get a profit along with it. You may or may not get a profit, but sales are a way of income to the business. Sales are the way of income to the business. So the rule is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. So obviously here we have two things as well. First is when cash sales is made, the goods go out and cash what comes in. And the second part is cash sales means sales is made, it is a part of the income to the business. So this is a nominal account. So your entry will be cash account debited to sales account. In the narration part, we'll write that cash sale made. Cash sales made. Rupees 20,000, 20,000. So this is how we perform our entry. We have to identify what has been done and how it reflects the business. What has been done and how it reflects the business. Then coming to the next part, that is salary paid rupees 5,000. Now, when salary is paid, it is paid in the form of cash or check. Agree? Then salaries are expenses, so it belongs to nominal account because salaries are given when a person renders services to you. A person when renders services to you, they're paid a certain amount. Suppose I work in Disha College, so if I render my services, then I get a check or a cash paid to me by the end of the month or the beginning of the month. So that is called as salaries. So salaries are the expenses. Obviously, for the services rendered, there are the expenses. And the rule for the nominal account is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Next is obviously salary paid means salary is paid in the form of cash or check. So we will assume that there is nothing mentioned as it is paid in the form of cash or check. So we'll assume that it is in the cash form. So cash is an asset which belongs to real account. So the rule for the real account is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So salary account debited, that because it is an expense and it belongs to nominal account, salaries account debited to cash account. The narration is being salaries paid 5,000, 5,000. The next is rent received rupees 1,000. Now rent received, rent means you have given your place, your shop, your house for rent and you are receiving rent, means it is an income. So rent received, the rent is received either in the form of cash or check. So rent received means it is a nominal account because rent received is an income, it belongs to the nominal account. So rule for the nominal account is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. The next part is rent is received in the form of cash or check. So cash or check means cash belongs to the real account. The rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So what is coming inside your business, that is cash account debited 1,000 to rent account because it is an income, or you can say income or gain to the business. So to rent account. In the brackets narration you will write being rent received 1,000, 1,000 rupees. Okay, so rent if received by check also will write the same entry, but in the form of cash we can write bank account debited because checks are deposited to the bank, then you receive the cash or you withdraw the cash from the bank. Okay, coming to your next entry, that is purchase furniture rupees 2,000. Now, whenever there is purchase made, is it an expense to the business, right? And we can say it is an expense to the business. And second thing, purchase furniture for cash is given. So furniture is coming inside and cash is going outside. So furniture and cash both belongs to the real account. There are two things involved in this thing. Expense is a different part. You can get benefits from the furniture also. It's not an expense. Salaries is an expense, but furniture we can say as a revenue, one kind of revenue, which benefits you get in future. Furniture you use for your business, right? Which benefits you get in future. So There are two things involved in this. First one is furniture, and second one is cash. Both belongs to real account, and the rule for is it what comes in debit what comes in and credit what goes out. What is coming in furniture, so furniture account debited to cash account, because both furniture and cash belong to the current asset part of the business, and current asset belongs to the real account. So tangible real account are both the transactions belong to tangible real account. So the rule followed is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So the furniture account debited to cash account. Being furniture purchased is your narration. The next one is purchase plant from Shyam on credit basis rupees 10,000. When plant is purchased on credit, plant is an asset belongs to real account. Rule is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Shyam is the creditor, it belongs to personal account. Because the name of the person is mentioned, so it belongs to personal account. The rule for the personal account is debit the receiver and credit the giver. So the if we follow the rule of the real account, that debit what comes in, so plant is coming inside the business, so plant account debited. And if we follow the personal account, credit the giver, though Shyam is giving the plant to Shyam's account, that is 10,000 10 Shyam said, that is being plant purchased on credit from Shyam. If there is not a mention of a person, then we can write the creditor, but here it's mentioned that it is being purchased from Shyam, so we are writing the name of the Shyam over here. Coming to your next transaction, that is sold goods to Ram on credit rupees 5,000. Okay, so sold goods to Ram means goods are sold, means it is an income to the business obviously, and credit means you have given as that the person will pay the money on the later basis. The person will pay the money on the later basis, that is the credit part. So we'll leave the credit part, but it is sold to Ram. So who is the person who is the debtor who owes to our business? The person is Ram. So when goods are sold, it is an income to the business. It belongs to the nominal account. So the rule for the nominal account is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. For the next is Ram is a personal, Ram belongs to personal account. So debit the receiver and credit the giver. So the entry is Ram's account debited rupees 55,000 to sales account rupees 5,000. You can see that if you brought on credit, we have written the reverse entry, that plant account debited to Shyam's account. But here, if we are giving credit, we have written a reverse entry, that is Ram account debited to sales account. So you understand the difference, who is the receiver, who is the giver. So accordingly, we'll do the transactions. Okay. So this belongs, if it is on credit basis, so we did not include the credit amount here or the credit part here, but we included the person who took the credit. The person, the name of the person is mentioned. So we mentioned the name of the person. Otherwise, we would have written the name of the debtor to debtor's account, means the person who owes to our business. Moving on to the next part, that is paid to Shyam rupees 7,000. Obviously, the plant was purchased for rupees 10,000 and we are paying an amount of rupees 7,000 to Shyam. So cash is paid to Shyam. So Shyam is a personal account. The rule is debit the giver, debit the receiver and credit the giver. Cash is a real account. Sorry, cash is a real account. That is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Shyam is a personal account and cash is a real account. So the entry is Shyam's account debited, because Shyam is a personal account, debit the receiver, the person who is receiving the money from the business, that is Shyam's account debited, and what goes out to cash account means cash is going outside the business. So being cash paid to Shyam is your narration. 7,000, 7,000 rupees. So moving to your next transaction, that is outstanding rent rupees 500. Okay. Outstanding rent is when a person has not paid the rent for the last month of the last year. Outstanding means you are due for paying a rent for last month or last year. So payment of rent is an expense, so it belongs to nominal account. Payment of rent is an expense. Obviously, receiving a rent is an income, so payment of rent is a expense. So the rule is debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Outstanding rent is a personal account because it is paid to a person. Outstanding rent is a personal account because it is paid to a person. Obviously, rent received means it is received by a real person. Rent given means, outstanding rent means it has to be given by a particular person. You have to give. You don't give rent to, you're giving a rent for the building or the house, but you give to a particular person or particular organization, a real person or an artificial person. Okay. So according to the rule, rent account debited to outstanding rent, because rent debit all expenses and losses, and that is credit the giver. What you have to give, that is to outstanding rent. Being rent outstanding is your narration. So we have to particularly identify what are the transaction, what are the things involved in the transaction, and what are the accounts involved. According to that, we have basically three rules. So we have to follow those three rules to do our journal entry. Next is cash received from Shyam, rupees 4,000. Cash is a real account. So the rule is uh, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And Ram is a personal account, debit the receiver and credit the giver. So Ram is giving to Ram's account. What is coming inside the business? Cash is coming inside the business. So cash account debited to Ram's account. Being cash received from Ram, rupees 4,000, rupees 4,000. So this is the entry we have made. So this is all about our journal entry. We studied about 10 transactions, and we are going to study number of transactions in this video class or your online classes. So stay connected and attend the classes to better understand how to do a journal entry. That's all for today's class. Have a nice day. We'll continue with your next class in the next video. Thank you.